Hello, welcome to another video campaign diary. This is for Curse of the Crimson Throne, Book 5, The Skeletons of Scarwall, Part 2, Castle Scarwall, Chapter 14, Into the Deep. The group, after defeating the Juju zombie, the group decides to check out a door to the south. That leads to a fairly long corridor, which to the east of the corridor runs a set of stairs going down, and to the west there's a door that leads to what appears to be a chamber to the north. The group goes down the stairs, which leads to the first floor, which leads to two long corridors going south and east. The group doesn't decide to go that far east before going back up and checking out the door that leads to the north chamber. Idris checks there's really no traps and it is not locked. So they enter into the darkened room. There is an altar dedicated to the dark gods on Zaha, with a skeletal face and the chains seeming coil around it. They see the mummified remains of Prelate Azuth, who rises from his ritual altar to attack the group. The group pounces, overwhelming the Prelate, the mummy, with their combination of martial might from Eno and Lavinia to arcane magics from Gregor to Idris's quick darting jabs of his blade to Rendon's divine spells. They don't find much in the room, a few magic items. With that, they decide to go back to where they fought the Juju zombie, and they investigate a series of what appear to be prison cells that are empty until they find a room with a to the stairs that goes north, or go up to the roof. On there, they see what appears to be a large square structure, very smooth, with no seeming edges or signs of mortar or brick. On it, there is a holy symbol of Zanzafa painted. When they enter, when they touch the symbol, it activates a temporary portal that leads them to another room with a set of stairs that goes down. They go down those stairs, and there appears to be goes down, appears to be a room on the first floor with a strange blue opaque mist forming. Some shadowy creatures rise from it, warning the group from their perils, saying that it knows what they seek, and they're not entitled to have it. A fight ensues. The creatures lash out, doing a fair amount of damage to the warrior, as well as Lavinia, who gets caught in the crossfire before being overwhelmed. At this point, the group does some investigation. They realize that whatever it is, the hole, the chamber, the well, goes down a significant way. At which point, Idris slips, falls, or is compelled, and goes down the chamber. He falls for a considerable amount of time before slamming into the ground, to a chamber that is appears to have blood marble tile with a opaque mist in the roofs and rough hewn walls. The group thinks their companion might be dead, as they try to use magics to exchange messages and to try to communicate. Being unsuccessful, not realizing exactly how far Idris has fallen. Eventually, Ren has an idea to send his celestial down to down. He arrives down there and he realizes that while injured, Idris is alive. So the rest of the group slowly makes their way down. They heal Idris up a bit, but at this point they're relatively exhausted. They've expended much of the resources. But they decide to forge on. Idris, realizes the door is not locked, but it is difficult to open. So the great push from the door opens and leads to long winding corridors that seem to have deposits of silver and mithril in them. Eventually, the group is led to a wide open, what appears to be a shoreline, leading to a large lake in the cavern. Before they get there, though, they hear what appears to be the sound of conch music, or some kind of windy, reedy music. As the group enters, they realize, Idris especially realizes there's a group of what appear to be giants swimming and laughing in the water. The group attempts to negotiate with them, but the giants state that the group cannot have what they want. They know why they're here, but they cannot have what they want. It is not for them. This is a sacred place to Zothoth. It's clear that both sides of the group don't understand what the other one is necessarily talking about. Being someone impatient, attacks. Early in the fight, the giants get the upper hand, knocking, to death's door. Renan rushes into Renan, and Idris rush in to help the companion. Renan obviously may hear him, but in the process, exchange of arrows and eldritch spells from Lavinia and Gregor. The giants, some of them throw rocks from a distance. One unleashes what appears to be a cacophonous thunder of an attack from its conch shell. And two others engage in melee combat. They manage to flank Brendan and almost kill him in the process. Now, Buck by this time managed to get Brendan up. The group decides that maybe they're too weak and too exhausted for such a conflict, and they gather around Brendan, who uses word of recall to pull them back to his sanctuary. At this point, the group decides they're going to rest, lick their wounds, and that's where we ended it. You will all get 8,500 XP from that. This does not include the fight with the giants, because you do not defeat them yet, but 8,500 XP. Anyways, I hope you had a good time. Let me know if there are any errors or omissions. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.